Well, I guess this is live. I'm not actually sure because the system was really going kind of wacky. Anyway, here we are. You know, when technology works, as I said the other day, it's great. When it doesn't work, well, who knows what's happening? So this came back from lots of stuff, including the gym. And anyway, here's the reading for today. How's that? First quote is from Earl Nightingale. He was actually a very well-known self-help guru from the 20th century. And his books are pretty much out there. Earl Nightingale, look him up if you've never read about him. And he said, don't let the fear of the time it will take to accomplish something stand in the way of you doing it. We might just as well put that passing time to the best possible use. In other words, make good use of your time. Earl Nightingale. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook, and it doesn't say where it came from actually. It depends solely on our belief and our acceptance and our willingness to comply with the law from which all good comes. It, whatever we're looking for, depends solely on our belief and our acceptance and our willingness to comply with the law from which all good comes. In other words, the spiritual realm. And this is from Eugene. He says, we're at a critical time on our planet. We spend too much time in separation, fighting against each other, being opposed to what others think, feel, and believe. It's time for us to stand boldly in acceptance. Then he says, he qualifies it, says, don't get me wrong, acceptance doesn't mean that what is going on is necessarily correct. Acceptance means recognizing that a given situation happened. That I can accept. Acceptance doesn't mean we must embrace and love whatever happened. Yes, I can agree with that. Acceptance means we recognize what is. I can agree with that. It's okay to accept something even if we don't necessarily like it. In other words, something happened, something exists as a result of that happening. There's no point denying it. It doesn't mean to say you have to agree with it, but it means there's no point denying it. Yes, I accept that it's here. Do I agree with it? Yes or no? One or the other. It says being unwilling to accept something causes us to want to deny it or be against it. A willingness to accept allows us to open ourselves to finding ways in which peace may reign. Acceptance allows us to see that there is a better way of responding to a situation and informs us of who we are supposed to be in that situation. The operative word there is responding and not reacting. Now is the time for us to be our most brilliant and authentic selves. We can no longer wait for others to show us the way. It's time for us to be the way showers ourselves. You, and then he says, yes, you are imbued with gifts and talents that only you can bring to the world. Now is the time to shine your light. Excuse me. So what do I make of all this? I agree with Eugene that acceptance is necessary for us to have peace of mind. So there was an election. Somebody won, somebody lost. You may or may not like those results, like in the last general election here back in November. But the fact is, it happened. There is a result. And unless you accept that result as a fact, then you're going to be struggling. No, that absolutely does not mean to say that you are in total oneness with what happened there. You may be completely against the person who was elected, or you may be totally for that person, or you may be half and half. Acceptance simply means to say that you accept there was a general election and there was a result. That's what it's saying. And it's not saying accept the outcome as what you agree with. What else does he say? He says that when we do this, we kind of free ourselves up to be our authentic selves. Why? Because we're not spending our energy struggling against something that's already happened. For instance, if I'm cooking and I ruin the meal, there's no point not accepting the fact that, hey, I got to start all over again and cook again. But it doesn't mean to say that I like the fact that I ruined the meal. So that's a simple example. And as I said, the general election is a much bigger example. And lots of people are struggling with what happened at the general election. And as I said, I accept the fact that it's a fait accompli. It's a done deal. Do I entirely agree with everything? No, but that's my choice. And then I got to figure out how I live with it, which is another thing. And the last thing he says on here is, which is kind of connected but not connected. He says, it's no good sitting back and just waiting for somebody else to lead the way if you know what to do. So if you know what to do, your job is to get out there and lead the way. Yes, if you don't know what to do, then go and ask other people or seek somebody who does know and let them lead if necessary. And then he says this, and that this applies whether you're leading or you're not leading. He's saying that only you can do certain things that no one else in creation has got exactly your talents and abilities. Somebody may be really close, but nobody has them. That you have a unique contribution to make to this world. And that's what he's saying here. And I 100% agree with him. You have a unique contribution to make. And then he goes and throws a whole bunch of affirmations at us. The first two, you really need to join them together. I am the light of the divine, and I shine that light everywhere I go. I join it together literally. I am the light of the divine, and I shine that light everywhere I go. And then I am the way, the truth, in the life of spirit. I am the way, the truth, and the life of spirit. Now is my appointed time to shine. Now is my appointed time to shine. If I were to pick any of those, I would pick, I'm the light of the divine, and I shine that light everywhere I go. That will be my choice, but your choice. Well, hope you enjoy this really short talk. As I said, I usually don't make lots of comments unless I've got some major things to say, and I really don't. First one is, there's a summary. I accept what happened. You don't have to agree with it. You just have to accept it is a fact. It happened. And the second is, there are certain things in this world that only you can do, even if it's fractionally different from somebody else. There's stuff in the world that you can do that nobody else can do. And as I said, it may be huge and it may be small and it may be way different than somebody else, or it may be very, very similar to somebody else, but only you can do it. And it's when we join all of our efforts together that we start to move evolution forward in a really good sense. So that's all I got. Reverend Lisa will be back tomorrow at 9:15. I'll be back tomorrow about 5. And I hope you got a chance to listen to Daniel Mercadal today at 11:15. I didn't because I was out doing stuff. I've been busy pretty well the whole day. So until next time, please take care of yourselves. Namaste.